Hello friends, I'm Erin Elise and I am currently renovating my teeny tiny Ford Transit Connect into a little camper that I live out of for a couple months out of the year. It allows me to have kind of a cool hangout area, but then also extend it into a twin size bed when I am on the road. A couple of videos ago, I showed you the very beginnings of the van when I bought it. It was originally like a creepy mobile office, and with a little bit of work, I was able to remove all of that junk, and now I have a clean slate to build off of and get going on this build. It took me forever to figure out how I wanted the design to be. I only do the van life thing a couple months out of the year, so I wanted to make sure that the base lounge part was what I wanted, and a lot of people who have the smaller vans will have the bed or the seating area up against the side, and I wanted mine to be up against the back so that if I pull up to the beach or like an overlook, you can see outside from the back when I open up the windows. I kind of made the design up as I went, and so there was a lot of trial and error. So I feel like it's pretty standard to have a bed with some sort of platform and storage underneath. So that's kind of where I started. I really wanted to try to limit the amount of new materials that I had to buy for this project, both for sustainability reasons and because of the budget component. So I had an old dresser that was at my parents' house that I took and I removed all the drawers from it. And 4 dresser drawers fit great underneath the platform. And then we had to create a base to hold the shelves in that they could slide on, and we just did that out of 2x4s, nothing crazy. We also had to decide how tall I wanted the platform to be because I was planning on putting a 4-inch mattress topper on the top of the platform, but I also wanted to be able to comfortably sit in there and not feel like I was like crouching in the van.
I'm in the way. Hi.
Hey! Okay, there we go.
I don't want to break things.
By the way, this is my friend and coworker Eric. He is a very talented woodworker and he offered to help me build the platform, so I'm very thankful. We literally whipped this up in just one afternoon. He's awesome. Eric!
It's fine. Aaron! There you go. Money.
Woo! Angles. Angles.
It's like math for me. A little off here and there, but it'll do.
Weird! It's perfect. Up next, I purchased a very large piece of plywood that was going to have to go over the platform, and then we had to screw that in place. Oh my god, it looks so good! Oh my god! Oh my god! And from that same large piece of platform, we were able to cut another section of it out, place it on top, but attach it with 3 different hinges.
Edit that.
Edit that out. Hold it.
I'll hold it.
Da da da. Please fit.
Gently.
Yeah! Yeah! So the hinges are what allow it to be folded up, and then you can fold it. You can unfold it so that you can make a full-size bed that I can, like, you know, extend my legs in. So most of the time it is folded in on itself, and then when I want, I can unfold it into the bigger bed. And then at this point, I realized that I hadn't really thought that far on how I was going to support the extension part. So Eric was super handy, and he ended up making me these triangle pieces. So I would just take those 2 triangle pieces, or like supports, and I would put them on the floor of the van, and then I was able to rest that extended plywood piece on top of them. It was actually super stable, surprisingly, and so this worked out for quite a while. At the time, I was in the full growing season at the farm where I work, so I definitely did not have a lot of time to come up with a different solution, and I was not going on any road trips or anything where I really needed to use the bed all that much. Now I'm about to leave for a 3-month road trip, and I wanted to make some major improvements, especially on these bases, because they kind of take up a lot of room. So I ended up creating this, and it's basically a movable box that has storage to put stuff in, but then I can also use it to support the weight of the extension. I went back to the carcass of the dresser that I stole the drawers from and created almost like a countertop for the box. And then I had a couple of spare boards that I used for the rest. This was a pretty simple project. I just utilized a table saw, some screws, a staple gun, and then we had ourselves the box.
I don't know about that one sock. We should run out and look.
I decided to paint the platform white. I wasn't really sure how I was going to like having the wood drawers with the rest of the white, but it was honestly really cute and I liked it a lot. As for the flooring, I used vinyl, peel, and stick flooring. The pros are that it's pretty cheap. I think I spent $25 for all of this, and there are no other materials needed to install it. It was super easy and quick. Plus, it's really light, and so it's not adding any extra weight to the van build. The cons for me are that, like, if you look up close, it's a little tacky, so it's not super cute. And it's definitely not the most eco-friendly option out there. Also, the durability has yet to prove itself. I've had to move out of my apartment several times since I put it down, and there's definitely a lot of scratches. Welcome to the van. I had a little bit left over, so I pulled off these back panels and then covered them in the vinyl flooring as well. The next step in the van build is to figure out the mattress situation. Like I said earlier, I was using a 4-inch mattress topper for a couple months. I used it when I was traveling across the US in my SUV, so it worked for that. And then I actually had it on my dorm back when I was in college. So I've been using this thing for a long time and it's super comfortable. But I learned on one very, very cold night in Montana that memory foam freezes. Maybe that's common knowledge, but I had no idea that memory foam could freeze. Like literally it will turn into an ice block, like a block of ice or a board. Like it is really, really frozen. I tried to look up the science behind this because it really blew my mind. And my understanding of it is that humidity and moisture will get into the memory foam over time. So when it freezes, that moisture will freeze too, basically making it a block of ice. My upcoming road trip is going to be in kind of some cold areas, so I definitely wanted to get an upgrade. I hope the upgrade works. I'm not sure, but I wanted to get a mattress that has springs in it. So the springs are the bulk of the mattress, and then there is some padding around the springs, obviously, but memory foam is really what will do the freezing thing. My search for the perfect mattress that's like a really awkward and weird small size brought me to researching children's bed, and then it brought me to IKEA. So IKEA has these really cool beds, and they are called extendable mattresses. And so there is 3 components to them. One is like a toddler size bed, and then as the kid grows, you can add 2 more pieces to make the bed longer. That is literally genius. My kid will be having one of these, and it also works perfectly for the van because I have kind of like a bigger bed, but then when I need to add the extensions, they can just be used as like backrests. Here's some footage of me and my mom hitting up IKEA. I did some research ahead of time, but then obviously I had to test out all the different kinds. They have cheaper versions with just foam, and then the more expensive versions have the springs, but for me, that's what I was there for, to get the springs. So I spent a little bit more money to get a real deal mattress. Honestly, I can't believe that I even found a mattress like this. Like, what are the odds that it was like the perfect dimensions, and then I could also build like this little counter thing to go with it. I love IKEA even more now. So with my design, there are basically 2 setups that you can do, the lounge setup and then the bed setup. So I'm going to show you how I switch in between the 2. Again, I designed this myself, so it's not like the best engineering feat you've ever seen, and it's not super easy to set up, but I think it still gets the job done. And again, if you're only using it for a couple months out of the year, it works fine. So here it is. This is the lounge setup from the back. So when the doors are open, I've got the mattress here, the drawers obviously pull out, and then I have my awesome side panels made out of the flooring. As you can see, I can definitely sit in here comfortably. I can do whatever that is, and my countertop kind of works as a little like laptop area maybe, and I can also take off the top and put stuff into it. This is the view when you're looking from the side doors. Again, we got the same drawers, but on this side. This area is where I put the extension. I might be putting some more storage in there eventually because there's a little bit of a gap, but for now this works. So this is the typical setup that I have it in like most of the time. Now I'm going to show you how you switch it into the bed version. The first thing that I do is I make sure the back doors are closed so that nothing comes flying out. And by the way, if you wanted to have both extensions, you can just put the second one up against the window. I don't always bring this with me just because I'm pretty short and it doesn't bother me just to have the one if I want a little extra space. I'm taking the box and putting it on the floor of the van. I put some felt on the bottom so that it doesn't scratch the floor. Then I take the 2 extension pieces and just put them at the very front. Then I take the larger piece and shove it against the back window. Then I pull down that piece of plywood, pull back down the mattress, flip it around, and then I add the extensions. This is a standard twin size bed, so I'm not compromising on any space. I'm pretty short, so I can definitely lay back all the way. I can even extend my arms fully up overhead. And then if I want a little bit more width instead of length, I can put one of the extensions to the side. So if I'm sleeping with another person, we can just kind of make do with our feet kind of dangling, but we at least both have the bulk of ourselves on a mattress. And to get back to the lounging mode, it's just the same thing in reverse. I think there's ways to improve how to do this. I want to add handles to the box and then also to the piece of plywood to make it a little bit easier. So now that you've seen how I put it together, that is basically the setup or the construction component of my teeny tiny van build. It's still a work in progress, and I'm sure that when I'm on my road trip, I'm going to find out a bunch of different ways that the design could be improved. Obviously, I still have to decorate it. The next video will probably be on all that fun stuff. Plus, there's other ways that I'd like to add storage and just kind of how I'm going to set it up. If you are interested in learning more about me, I am actually a part-time farmer and I also travel in my off season. So if you want to see what I do next to the van, definitely subscribe so you don't miss out on that. And if you learned anything or got an idea or thought this video was cool, please give me a like. It really helps me out. Yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you later. Bye. Little disclaimer here.
Yeah. It's not professional, it's not perfect, but it's functional.
That's right. Peace.